rundown here, your home for CSAA winter sports, especially for our hoops, which is now in postseason here. Brandon Wirth, Jack Heckman, we're in the thick of it here, Jack. Boys are now on to the district final in the snap of a finger. Girls are awaiting their brackets here for this next week to start. But right now, a lot of upsets already. A lot of teams that we knew are good and are proving that they're good. And right now, the CSAA is making some noise here this week.
Yeah, this is a very exciting week. Grant playing for a district final, and so will Kent City. Two exciting teams to watch.
Absolutely. We'll talk about those brackets on the boys' side as well as preview the girls' brackets here later on, as well as talk about the games later on this week. But before we get into it, big thanks goes out to Denny's Muffler and Brakes in Big Rapids. You can visit them on State Street. Give them a call, set up an appointment. You can get your auto care no matter what it is. If it's oil change, whether it's general auto repair and more, Denny's Muffler and Brakes in Big Rapids. Also, big thanks goes out to Eagle Village. If you want a job that impacts the lives of youth and the next generation, you know where to go, eaglevillage.org/careers. Eagle Village, where potential source. All right, let's start into it with our boys district recap. We'll start with our home district here in the B-Rap. That would be District 35. Two matchups on Wednesday, and unfortunately, both of our teams fall. Big Rapids falling to Ludington 77-44. After a big win against Manistee, they won by 7 once again. Ironically, the exact same score they beat the Mariners as the first time around. Very ironic scoregami, if you will. And then Reed City falling to Hart 59-37. Final scores reported there. And we can touch on both teams here. Jack, obviously you covered Big Rapids all season long. Big win on Monday, I should say, against Manistee. Tough game on Wednesday against Ludington, who really is a powerhouse club. You can see why they're the number one seed. And Big Rapids was just simply outmatched on Wednesday night.
Yeah, most definitely. But the positive, though, was Monday night. They had a really impressive win. Everybody really came together. This is a whole team effort. 12 guys got in. 6 guys found the book. And the team came together. Assists were being made. The ball was tossing around. Everybody had their fingertips on that game. And they were up by 25 at one point. Yes, Manistee came down and cut it all the way to 5, but this was a full team effort to get that win on Monday night. Tough to see him go down on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Ludington is a legit team, a regional contending team. There's no doubt about it. Isaac Wilhelm certainly had a good game for him last night. Even Kurt Wilbur offensively showed out a little bit in that Wednesday game. But Cam Gunsel, Taj Williams, those guys were just too much for the Cardinals. And then obviously on the other side, Reed City played really well in the first half. They made some mistakes, but still hung with Hart. They forced some turnovers to keep that game even. But Hart in the second half really just kind of took off. That's really just been, for Reed City, the fountain of youth, right? We haven't seen the benefits as of yet because they're still learning. A lot of those second half where those teams with a lot of experience and a lot better conditioning as terms of just basketball legs, able to really kind of run away with it. But it's still a great season for Reed City. It was certainly a good night for Roan Johnston and co. Jared Lockhart, I thought, also played a great game in his final high school basketball game, but still a great season for Reed City nonetheless, and especially some great improvement from last season indeed. So Ludington and Hart will square off in that district final. That will be on Friday at Ludington. Let's take a look at 36. Gladwin beating Standish Sterling by 12. You can see there the top seed there in the Flying G's move on, and Chippewa Hills has a chance at the buzzer. I saw the video. I mean, just inches for Coach Darnell's team for playing for a district title, unfortunately falling to Shepherd 46-43. Hard-fought effort, especially from that team top to bottom, and very impressive for them this season.
That was a team that really impressed me all season long with great length. They were able to match up with teams very well, but the comeback just came short. You said it, Brandon. Just so close on the heave. But this was a hats off to the Shepherd team at their own gym. A tough place to play, got the job done.
Absolutely. Maverick Chapman, 9. Jackson Arts had a really nice game with 8 as well there for the Warriors. So Gladwin will face off against Shepherd there in the district final. Gladwin the favorite, but Shepherd the host. Should be fun. District 40, first upset of the tournament in our local area. Central Montcalm, unfortunately, and Coach Ingalls go down at the hands of Ionia, 57-45. They will now play Portland in the district final. And for this game especially, Ionia just made some big shots. They really did a great job of slowing down the scoring for Central Montcalm. And really, that's been the only thing that Central Montcalm, outside of that first 5, they just don't have the depth to compete with some of these other teams. And unfortunately, kind of bit them in the rear end on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's kind of been a problem all season. They've allowed teams to kind of stick with them. And you said it kind of caught up to them in this one. Ionia, they're looking to be that first Cinderella team, knocking off Elma, knocking off Central Montcalm. Now they look to go for the trifecta and knock off Portland. All 3 of those teams I thought easily could have won this district. Ionia could completely shock us.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see how Ionia does. Really, the Cinderella right now. of this year's tournament, whether they want to be called that or not. Let's take a look at District 41. Battle of CSAA teams at the top of this one. Grant and Tri-County duked it out. Tigers pull off the win and their third win against the Vikings this year, 58-32. And Fremont avenges an early season loss win at the host in Sparta by 7. So now you have Grant and Fremont in a potential rematch. Tigers really took advantage of the first matchup. We'll see what Fremont has to bring. But just, how about Grant so far this year? 24-0 now, looking for 25 in a district title. This team is just phenomenal. Fremont's going to present some length, especially on the outsides. They can shoot it a little bit, but Grant with that tenacious man-to-man defense, that's going to be a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, Grant is one of the best teams we've covered all season long. This district went all chalk, kind of how we expected it, but the Tigers got the job done. Fremont got the job done. These two teams matched up earlier at White Cloud. Was a neutral site game. This will be neutral site as well. Grant won by 26 the first time around. They'll look to continue. You mentioned it. That man-to-man defense can definitely be potent.
Absolutely. And especially give a shout out to Tri-County as well. After that surprising win at Reed City, then the throttling win at Newaygo. They certainly proved that they could play. Some of these teams played some of their best ball the last 3 games of the season. Let's take a look now at District 74. This was at Kent City. Ravenna gets another win against Montebello, a 1-point upset for the 4 seed. And probably the shocking score of the tournament, certainly, Kent City throttles Morley Stanwood, 72-37. And it definitely sounds like, based on the reports that we heard, Morley Stanwood dealing with some injuries to some starters. And Kent City, Vanderwest on double-double performance, absolutely dominant. Those guys, the length, the rebounds, they were just able to take advantage in full throttle against a Morley Stanwood team that was just a titch down.
This is an amazing Eagles squad, one of the best ones they've had in recent history. But Ravenna has been a team that has created issues in playoffs in previous years before winning a couple districts in recent history. This is going to be a great matchup tomorrow night. Two teams that have the ability to win when it comes down to it. They've showed it in clutch moments. But this Kent City Eagles team, they have a great ability to pass it. You mentioned it. Vanderwest, he's a lethal weapon for the Eagles squad.
Absolutely. And White Cloud as well, noticeably in that first round game against Morley Stanwood, kept it close. That straight fella, he can score it. He kept them in that ball game, so he's going to be fun to watch. Lakeview also falling after what was a very improved season for the Wildcats to that really potent Bulldog squad of Ravenna. So Ravenna, Kent City, in Kent City, that's going to be a fun one on Friday night. And that concludes our district boys recap. So those are the games right now that we have recapped from the action that has already happened. Girls right now are in action. We'll get to some scores to report, but let's get into the brackets here really quick as well, so you guys have a look. Here are the final brackets. We'll start with District 35. You see Reed City, Ludington, only 2 weeks apart. Let's square them off again in the 4-5 matchup. Winner will play Big Rapids, and then you have Cadillac, Newaygo. They will play Fremont, the winner of that matchup there in the other semifinal. You got Big Rapids, one of the best teams in terms of MPR this year. You got Fremont, a perennial scoring team in that program, and you got teams that want to play physical, very physical basketball there on the top with Ludington and Reed City. And then you have Cadillac and Newaygo as well that are going to be just a really fun offensive matchup there in the other semifinal.
This is the best Division II district. I'm not just saying it. The numbers back it up. Newaygo being the 6th seed, they have the second highest MPR in the entire state for the last seed in a district. That is very, very impressive. And that just goes to show from 1 to 6, this is a uber talented district.
Absolutely. District 35 always is a gauntlet, no doubt about it. This will be at Cadillac as well. And so those rims, it feels like the spotlight of a big gym. We'll have to see how they play there in that matchup. District 36, this one's going to be held at Clare. You got Chippewa Hills in that district as the 3 seed. They will face off against number 2 seed Clare. Standish Sterling, the top seed, though he will await the winner of Ogama Heights and Gladwin there in that quarterfinal matchup. And for Chip Hills, going to be playing against Clare. This Pioneer team, they are very athletic. They can get you on the boards. They can get you defensively. And we'll see what Chippewa Hills does, especially with some of their length, especially with Frankie Fall, really standout player for them. We'll see if they can get her going, if they're going to try to pull an upset against the Pioneers.
Yeah, the Warriors are going to have their work cut out for them on Wednesday night. Claire's coming in this one right now with a 7-game win streak. It's going to be hard to take down this Pioneer squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And those games that Chippewa Hills has won, a lot of the times it's a defensive end that's won them games. Let's see if they can pull off the upset. Now let's take a look here at District 40. You got Portland as the top seed. They will await Belding and St. John's. There are the Hornets as the 3 seed against Ionia, who right now that school's got some vibes going, so we'll see what they have in store. But for Central Montcalm, very up and down season so far. They've played with teams to Kent City where they could have beat them on final free throws, but they've also had games that have let them slipped away in lesser FBR teams. So they're going to have to step up to the moment. And also, by the way, if you need any help, why not have it on your home floor? Give yourself an advantage.
You mentioned it. This Hornets team has had some very tough losses. In Portland being the 1 seed, obviously you have to get past Ionia. You mentioned it. The momentum they have in that school right now, maybe something that nobody can touch right now. But Portland at that top seed, that's a very, very good Division II team. Statistically, one of the best in Division II.
Absolutely. And Montcalm, for reference as well, on the season, I believe comes in over 500 at home. So that could be a big boost for them. And obviously Portland will be waiting at the top. District 41, Sparta is the host and the number 1 seed. Everything going their way for the Spartans right now this year. They will play the winner of Forest Hills Eastern Comstock Park. And why not? We had it in the boys semifinal, so we might as well have it in the girls semifinal. Tri-County and Grant, the number 2 and the number 3. That should be a really fun matchup. And not only that as well, I had to almost check my notes because of the fact these two teams are playing now on Thursday, February 26th. So now they're going to have to play on March 4th. I mean, chess match with the coaches, we will certainly see that coming up this next week.
Yeah, we saw a similar thing in the boys' side of things with Morley Stanwood and Kent City last week. We saw how that one went. Kent City absolutely obliterated the Mohawks in the second matchup. But this is one you could just roll a die and, whatever number it lands on, you may just have a winner of this district. All these teams kind of struggling in the season, but who knows? A district title may pick it up for some of these teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. And I mean, especially with the youth of Grant starting to get games under their belt, but Tri-County's been very improved this year, but the conference has still given them struggles on the season in terms of overall wins and losses. Let's take a look now at 72. Molloy Stanwood is the host of the number 1 seed in this tournament. Heavy favorite in this district, no doubt about it. Lakeview will duke it out with Farwell, and that is a favorable matchup there for Lakeview in the 4-5. That should be a very entertaining game. And then Beale City and Blanchard Montebello, 2 battle-tested teams there at the bottom. Most likely, we might see Molloy Stanwood and Beale City in the final, and we'll see how that turns out. But right now, Molloy Stanwood on paper, heavy favorites in this one. And with their length, they could cause a lot of matchup problems, but it doesn't matter. Upsets can happen. They're going to have to execute.
The Mohawks are poised for a run. 2 separate 8-game win streaks. This is a team that has talent. They just ended their last 8-game win streak to a really good Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart team. But this is one of the best teams on the girls' side that we've talked about. Them in Big Rapids, those are 2 really good squads. The Mohawks, they are going to have a easier district, but once it gets past that, they may be poised for a regional title.
Absolutely. And you don't talk about a lot of girls basketball teams at high school level averaging over 60 points a game, which the Mohawks are right about at that mark. So we'll keep an eye on that district as well. Let's take a look at 73. Shelby, the number 1 seed, they get the bye. You got Hesperia and Holton, the right to play the Tigers. And then you have White Cloud, who is the 3 seed, but the host in this tournament. So they're going to have home court advantage. They're going to be taking on a very, very good Hart Pirates squad. But the big thing, especially for White Cloud, they're going to have to really rely on that offense that has provided a spark for them over the last couple of weeks. They have been able to pull off some upsets, Newaygo being one of them. However, they have had a little bit of a skid across the road, but Montebello win, I think that certainly is going to push this team a little bit farther forward.
Yeah, they're going to have some all right momentum coming in. They've been a little shaky in the last couple games, but getting that win over Montebello may be the boost that they need. It's going to be a very difficult matchup with the Pirates in that semifinal round. Shelby's a really, really good team at the top of this district, but it's not going to be impossible for White Cloud. They can most definitely get it done.
Absolutely. Shelby's certainly the heavy favorite, but we'll see how that one plays out. Final district is 74. Kent City, the number 1 seed and the host in this tournament. They will host North Muskegon, and then you have West Michigan Christian out of Muskegon will be playing against Ravenna. Both those teams will automatically be in the semifinals as this is a 4-team district. Kent City is the favorite, but this is probably as tough of a draw as you could have asked for in terms of the alignment lines because of the fact that West Michigan Christian, very good ball club overall. They play very well defensively. Ravenna is a team that plays well historically in the postseason. And then you got North Muskegon, which is just a basketball school. They just figure it out in the postseason when it comes to basketball. But Kent City should be confident despite their losses to Molloy Stanwood. They should still be confident in this team because they can get it done and they're going to have their home fans on their backs.
You mentioned that loss to Morley Stanwood, only the 5-point loss past Friday. This is a very good Eagles squad. Going to battle with the Mohawks is only improving them. Iron sharpens iron, and that's the exact thing we're going to get right here. A 15-5 squad this is going to be a very, very good Eagle squad.
Yeah, they can play inside and out, but it's going to be, can they win the board battles? That's a lot of times where you see a lot of these postseason games won is controlling the ball and winning the rebound battle, because shots will fall. It just depends on the rate at the end of the day. So that will do it here for our district bracket reviews and previews. We'll get to our scores around the league here to wrap up. But first, big thanks goes out to rivalsmi.com. You t-shirts, some local merchandise to support your team of choice. You can log online, rivalsmi.com. Free shipping over $50 orders. All of our schools that we cover in the area are probably in the store. You can also go online to find DezosDigital.com. Information at DezosDigital.com. If you need digital advertising for your business of choice, geo-targeting ads on Hulu, streaming platforms, so much more, DezosDigital.com for more. All right, let's take a look now at some games in the CSAA this past week. The scores from girls hoops that we haven't covered yet. Those the lone games from earlier on this week. We do have action here tonight. Is recording this on Thursday, February 26th. Those games will be very exciting to watch. We have Big Rapids hosting Chippewa Hills. Citra Montcalm hosting that very powerful Mohawk squad from Molly Stanwood. You got Grant hosting Tri-County. Holton will be hosting White Cloud in non-conference action, former conference foes. Then you have Lakeview hosting Kent City, and Newaygo and Reed City will be duking it out there in Newaygo. That probably is the matchup to watch here tonight on the girls' side. If I were to be a guessing man, we also have makeup games on Friday. Newaygo will be hosting Fruitport and Chippewa Hills hosting Shepherd. Those both rescheduled games, I believe, from earlier on this season, but especially some big games on deck, Jack. Which one's really catching your eye here this weekend for girls hoops?
There's some great matchups. One that catches my eye in the CSAA, White Central Montcalm and Morley Stanwood. This could be a big game for Central Montcalm to get ready for the postseason, because they're going to be in a different district. We just highlighted to try and knock off those top teams. It's going to be tough, but this could be the win that maybe they do get the win. Maybe they hold it close, but this could be a game that they maybe, set the tone going into the playoffs.
Absolutely. That term barometer game certainly seems to be a great way to describe it. I'll be watching Reed City, Newaygo, no doubt about it, just because of the fact that both of these teams are entering really tough districts, so they know they got to play their best going forward. And there is conference at stake too as well, and conference standings at the end of the day. We wish all the teams the best of luck here at the end of this week, and thank you all for tuning in for this edition of The Rundown. Be sure to subscribe Big Rapids Daily News on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube so you don't miss out on any weekly episodes, and we will have a full winter recap coming up on an episode coming up soon. Until next time, Brandon and Jack saying so long until the next episode on The Rundown here on WBRN.